This video was kindly sponsored by the Nick Morn Foundation.
Hidden in the Welsh countryside, this campsite has the power to make all your childhood dreams come true.
We're here in South Wales at Apple Camping, where owner Toby has let his imagination and creativity run wild.
Hi, I'm Toby Reese-Davis. This is Apple Camping. It started off as a cow field about 6-7 years ago. I got permission for some yurts and then decided to diversify, figuring that people want the weird and the wacky. So, starting with a Learjet, followed by a UFO, a Pacman, and now a submarine down the bottom. They were doing just that.
What started as a cow field next to Toby's house evolved into an apple orchard, then part-time campsite, and now this, a full-time year-round campground that offers glamping opportunities unlike any other.
Stepping into this UFO is like stepping into another world. Have breakfast at the moon table or stay in bed and watch the sunrise from one of the spacecraft's many windows. This UFO is able to sleep 4 and is the perfect place for you and your friends or family to live out some childhood dreams.
So how did Toby happen to stumble upon a UFO, you may ask?
Well, let's just say he knows a guy.
A few friends said that they knew someone in Tenby that worked with fiberglass, this gruff old guy. Anyway, he told me, he said, let's go for a pint. Went for a pint. And I said I'd heard that he could possibly help out with my madcap plan of building a UFO. And he said, I've always wanted to build a UFO. So that's where it started, on the back of a beer mat, and drew what looked like two woks together, and that's the result.
Not far from the UFO lies the epitome of another childhood dream. The Pacman Geodesic Dome is a spacious haven for any 80s arcade game lover, with a double bed, wood-burning stove, and panoramic window to view the rest of the property, not to mention the on-theme accents. The Pacman Dome is just another example of Toby's seemingly endless creativity.
Yeah, I'm obviously based down here in Pembrokeshire. I was born and raised in Tenby, which is about 3 miles south. I've done my time away in the smoke, but always planned to be back here. Came back at about age 23 into retail, and this was a bit of a. Really wasn't expecting to end up doing this line of work, but in the hospitality business, most of my friends would laugh at the thought of me in hospitality. But I'm good at certain bits of it.
Ever dreamt of relaxing on a private jet? Well, now you can sustainably. This private jet's completely original interior and cockpit boasts plush leather seats, a double bedroom with a second private entrance, and the ability to play games in the captain's chair. We asked Toby which accommodation was his most sought after, and I'm sure you can guess which it was.
As far as the popularity of the units go, it's by far the 3 most popular are the 2 planes and the UFO, and it's a sort of very equal balance between them. I'd say probably the Jetstar has the biggest desirability because it's got a cockpit that you can play games in and sit in and pretend that you're flying a plane. I'd always thought that aviation would be really easily to convert, and so I was finally trying to find the right plane. So I took my mum for a day out at Cotswold Airport and stumbled across the fuselage. And as soon as I stepped on it, I said, yeah, Mum, I can do something with this. She shook her head in disbelief, but eventually she said, I suppose, Toby, finally your eccentricity is starting to pay off.
Toby says that he always builds with the environment in mind, and has so far planted what he estimates to be nearly 1,000 trees on the property. But Apple Camping's greatest benefit to the environment is that all of its accommodation options have been upcycled and repurposed for a second life.
When planes come out of service, they sell all the bits off. That's where they make their money. But literally, when you get to the shells like these two, they get squashed, just chopped up. I did think that aviation lends itself particularly well to converting. When you look at South Wales, for instance, which is plagued by static caravans, those things are going to last 20, 30 years. That Airbus will be there in 100 years. So going back to your green, sustainability, they have got, a lot more life in them than a lot of other camping or building projects.
One of Apple Camping's most recent additions, the Witch's Hat, offers a little enchantment to these wild grounds. After walking around the campsite and seeing how different each stay was from the next, we wanted to know if there was any planning behind Toby's design and building process.
He told us that he doesn't use traditional design methods and tends to get inspiration and create as new ideas develop. With the weather getting warmer this time of year in Wales, Toby and his team were busy preparing the grounds as well as each accommodation for guests, meaning we couldn't go inside and visit them all, but the outside just offers a sneak peek of the excitement that's meant to come inside. With cost per night averaging £95 with a minimum stay of 2 nights, we asked Toby how he and his team fund the building of new stays across the property, and how he manages to turn his passion into his main source of income too.
Realistically, how much have I paid? I don't know. I've done it on the cheap, really. So something like the Disco Church, probably spend about £27,000 on that. Planes are a lot more. You're going to look, 40, 50, 60, depending on what it comes with and what state it's in. So total, I've never totted it up. It's organically grown.
So what's next for Toby? We thought you'd never ask.
Okay, so the latest project is the submarine in the bottom field. To develop that slightly, I've got permission for 4 or 5 units down there. I think I'll probably stop at 4 and just trying to keep up the level of quality. Don't let that slide. People enjoy the amount of space they have between the units, so they can have privacy, or then you've got the communal areas in the centre, so you can do what you like. But I think it's very important to keep it, nicely spaced out, and of course imaginative. So the submarine was born of someone phoning me up while on holiday and saying that they had this sonar hub, and I just thought, right, well, let's do something submarine based. A few people had mentioned before that could you do a submarine? Well, of course a submarine is actually a horrible thing to stay in, so we're going to turn it into a nice one, more yellow submarine.
Once holding the sonar equipment on the bottom of a naval vessel, this soon-to-be submarine stay is going to be the best way to watch the stars from what will feel like the middle of the ocean. With other surprises always up his sleeve, Toby can't wait for visitors to enjoy Apple camping to its full potential.
It's an oddball, eclectic collection of things that you can stay in.
For more information on how you can book a stay at Apple Camping, click the link in our description below. And if you have any other suggestions of eccentric, sustainably minded stays, be sure to message us on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.